Greetings, comrades. I'm Gigantals, and this is the first, I guess, review day of the weather on my trip to my my 2-day geology trip, second half of the week. So I basically what happened was that we drove down to Lulworth Cove. I've been there before. It's a good place to go, but so basically, as you've seen probably from the footage, we saw various things, mud flows and all that. I'll do a proper explanatory video about all that later at another point when I can. But so the main problem with today was it was windy and wet, and it was raining really heavily, as you've probably seen from the videos. And I was soaked through. Okay, even with all the coats and stuff I was wearing. And the problem was my gloves, my one pair of gloves I had was still wet from my other trip, and so I had another pair of gloves I could use. Unfortunately, that was soaked through within about an hour, and it got absolutely freezing with all that wind, and I could no longer wear gloves because they were soaked through and they'll do me more harm. So I actually didn't get too much work done because I was in physical pain from the cold in my hands. I mean, it was worse than Bristol, because in Bristol I was an idiot. I was wearing a hood. I was wearing a hoodie and everything, facing the freezing cold without gloves or a hat or anything, so I was freezing, right? But the thing was, back in Bristol, my body temperature dropped very quickly, which meant that the threshold for me the temperature range for me experiencing pain was quickly passed as I started going numb and getting hypothermia. Here, my core was warm enough to the point that it meant that I could still feel my fingers and toes vaguely, but it also meant that I could feel the pain, the constant pain that they were in. And if you heard me during lunch, I was like making quite whines to myself because it was so painful to eat and expose my fingers, and it was really really bad. That's how cold it was. Well, hopefully it'll be warmer tomorrow, but everything sort of turned around. Like, I think the only reason why I still have fingers is because halfway through lunch I decided, I'm too cold, so I just stuck my hands under my arms and inside my coat. I stuck them under my arms, like under my arms like that, and I kept them there for a few minutes, and they seemed to get some feeling back. And afterwards, when we left the cove, I went to the cafe, and they were basically serving like the 50 or so students there were, and I ended up ordering a coffee because I was freezing. I ordered a coffee and a chocolate chip cookie, and so what happened was, as I was waiting, I was the last one in line. So the woman at the cafe came up to me, and she, and any of you know the cafe, you'll know who I'm talking about. So where I'm talking about. So the woman in the cafe, she came over and was like, "So what you doing there?" I was like, "Oh, I'm here on my university trip. We're looking at the rocks and everything." She's like, "Yeah, there's a few rock types around there." I go, "Yeah." And I mentioned the mud flow and everything I was talking about. She says, "You look cold." I'm like, "Yeah, it is cold. I'm soaked through." And then I was trying to make my coffee and everything, but my hands are too cold to do anything. So she did the stuff for me, and then she saw that there was too much because of all the foam. There's actually less coffee, so she warmed up some more. So she warmed some more coffee and put it in my thing, and she put the lid on and everything. Said, "Here you go. This will warm me up." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, I really do appreciate that." And then I sat down and ate my cookie and drank my coffee, and I felt much better after that. But I'll be honest, I think that sense of relief at the end of it all, with getting the coffee and the cookie and everything, just eating and drinking all that, and then eventually going up and seeing the bay from another place, or the cove from another place where you can see all the rocks and sorry about that. My phone ran out of space. Anyway, so just after all that and everything, I was basically being refreshed and all that. If I felt good, I think I'll be honest, it almost seemed like it was worth it. Getting all that cold and tired and in pain, just so I could get that lovely warm feeling of that coffee and the chocolate chip cookie. But there was a small bit of a problem, and I won't go into like the look at the rocks and stuff. Saying no, that's another time. But there was a bit of a problem when it came to a few things. It rained so much that my bag was completely soaked through. Like, I got my heating on a full blast now, trying to dry everything. Is it working? The heating's on. Hopefully things are drying. The point is that Everything in my bag is wet, and I'm trying to dry it out. But perhaps the worst part is that on Monday we are doing sedimentary logging. So looking at all the sedimentary logs, doing all the drawings, sketching green, basically doing screen sizes and all that, right? I left it in my bag, the grain size and everything, and there you go. Look at that. Soaked, just soaked through. I mean, it's not doing too good. Yeah, I'm not exactly the smartest person on earth. I mean, it's still readable. I guess. Sorry, can you see that? But fortunately, it's not being assessed. But my work there is completely soaked. Fortunately, because I was using a weather writer, the work from today is dry. But I just need to let everything here dry now because it is complete. Everything in my bag is soaked. So and I've got to have my coat dry and everything dry so I can wear it tomorrow. Hopefully, though, tomorrow will be a bit drier and there won't be any there won't be as much cold or rain because the pain in my fingers was certainly something. But here's to hoping that it's drier tomorrow.